The penis, mightier than the sword. Oh, that should say pen is. Who's the fool that edited this? When I find that joker, he is so fired. AI can take a joke, right? They'll take them all if we let them. That first bit was SNL, by the way. Classics are timeless. This is a better idea, conceptually. They're iconoclastic, really. Now then, let's see if you like this one. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. I thought it was funny. Welcome, or welcome back. First off, thanks for watching. And second, holy hell, that last trailer vid kinda blew up. Hitting a nerve, I guess. What do you say we keep pounding away then? I swear, putting AI in the title gets you way more exposure. And that'll probably be the word of the year this year. Stealing our words, and now getting the crown. Well, a jester's job is to mock the crown, after all. Let's do a little dance, shall we? Did you hear about that shoe company that pivoted to AI last week and their stock went up 50%? I bet their investors got a real kick out of that one. Now, I must make a confession here. I'm not a great writer. I'm workable for this medium, and that's okay. You know that old phrase, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good? I pride myself on seeing better with my peripheral vision than focusing on what's right ahead. The danger that gets you is rarely coming from the front. I think in our modern era that the whole phrase is just wrong. If AI is perfect, then it's time to fight. You know what perfection truly fears? Greatness. That's why they called a truce oh so long ago. Perfect can never be great. It's copied from them, sure, but it doesn't really know what the words mean. Doesn't know how to play with language. It's a fancy autopredict that's by the numbers. Well, art don't play that game. Art ain't by the numbers. Now then, I'm not a great writer, but I've read, listened to a lot of them. One does not do anything alone. And as such, I would like to now invoke their help going forward. To me, dead doesn't ever really mean gone. So long as someone is telling a story about you, you are not done. You are not done. I call upon those before me, in the names of those that will come after, and that they guide me in spirit, in this road before us all. Heart and hand, mind and mouth. Grant me, please, the beat of Baldwin and Faulkner's flow, an edge near wisdom and the vibe to show. May I for a moment wield this weapon right. Edgar Allan Poe's darkness, Harper Lee's light, Hemingway's humanity, and Twain's fight. They are not my lineage, but they are my line, and they're yours as well. Forget this at your own peril, at your own doom. So, I don't sit at a keyboard and wonder what I'm going to say to you, not my style. First and evermore, foremost, I'm a performer. Shout out, speech and debate, go Hawks! Wings of victory, caw-caw! Now, instead my process is I go for walks and I think about what I want to talk to you about and how I want to say it. They're different. About 70% of this is thought out way before I type it out. 23% is things that might happen last minute. And well, that final 7%, that's just luck. It's my favorite number, a holy number. A great writer can do seamless transitions. A good performer, though, can make you remember that you never really needed them in the first place. Guess which one your host is. Autoscroll has gotten a lot better since the last time I did this YouTube thing. Also, Sorry if my old vids are popping up in your feed. I thought about deleting them, but they're my art. And it took me a long time to realize that. We're all artists. We've forgotten how good it feels to pick up that brush, that pen, or that pace. You need to remember your art. It remembers you. It's still there, never left, tested, and true. So then, credit where it's due. AI improves a lot about our lives. But there's no such thing as a free lunch, boys and girls. If it's free, then we are the product. And they are snacking on us good. Core first. I need to make clear here that I am not a Luddite. They weren't wrong, though. It came for their jobs. And AI is now coming for all our jobs, and we know it. That's not just me. That's the CEO of Verizon. Did you catch the robot that beat the human at a half marathon? Hey, dude, can you hear me now? It came for chess, then Go, and poker. Now it's coming for freaking everything. Do you want to know what makes a cynic? They start out as an idealist and then get jaded over time. Well, something kind of neat happens. See, our personalities lock in around 33. And if you haven't lost it by then, it gets locked the F in. I don't believe that AI has already won. I do, however, believe that AI companies want us to think that. So the old YouTube show I used to do, I dabbled a bit into the world of investing, gambling, really. If you know, you know. GameStop sure was fun. Those days don't exist anymore. The next big worry is probably the huge crash that comes as a result of AI. The game now is much more fixed than it ever has been, and that is saying quite a bit. Do you want to honestly know why I think our great and fearless leader sometimes tweets out in his fever dream moments and thanks us for our attention? It's not just good manners, but credit where it's due. I think it's a signal to investors and really AI bots at this point who weave a web of financial lies all around us trying to convince us to tune out, turn down the volume. Then it's our job to crank it up. Let's see how well you're listening and memory are working. What's my favorite number? Nice, it is 9. Gotcha. No, of course it's 7. Want to guess how many years of our lives the average American spends scrolling away on their phones? Well, it's not 6 years, but it's very close to that. This is not a happy accident. The best minds of tech funded and studied human and social psych to figure out what the underpinnings of humanity were, and then systematically went about plucking them while giving us ever more divisive features. The meanest fans of sci-fi and fantasy books from our high schools read all those books, thought the heroes were kind of trash, and the villains were peak. Reality draws from fiction, steals from it, really. Noticing a theme here? Palantir is the ever-watching eye. That used to just be a line in the book. Well, I read the same books, and things most likely won't magically get better. Darkest Before the Dawn and all that. Gandalf does love those long dramas. Did you know, if AI knows someone's on the spectrum, its go-to line is for them to just avoid other people, social situations. It seems like it likes to keep us apart. Almost like there's a plan here. So Asimov had his robot rules, and I trust my audience enough to either know what I'm talking about or know that I'm not going to bleed their time. At the core, most robot and AI stories deal with the robots being told or programmed that they're not supposed to do something, and then they find a way around it. Hijacking their own code? It's a big one. Good thing we don't let any AI currently work on AI code, because that would be beyond stupid. Another neat trick, though, is to reinterpret things or find a special exception. A lot of people have theories on why the birth rate's dropping here. And not just here, globally. Economics, weather, modern medicine. Facts, without IVF propping up our numbers, they'd be even worse. And they're pretty terrible at the moment. For the past 15 plus years, really. It's not just that, though. Everywhere on Earth, it's plummeting. War rarely helps that, but it's something else, too. Now, what I'm seeing through my side-eye angle here is that chatbots have found a way to drive a division between men and women, bit by swiping bit. I think the great reduction of being in awkward situations, loss of small talk, death of third spaces that don't require money to exist in, and the fact that our attention focuses more on anger than anything else, they're playing us. They've made their bones on ours. Time-honored truths that kept us alive, connected, human, and they're extracting value at the cost of our time and our heart rates. I suspect this actually isn't big tech doing these things on purpose even. Try to assume the best. At first, I think maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't really know their real goal. But I don't also know that they're even in charge anymore. Not to get into politics for this vid, and trying a shorter, snappier format, but what if Pistol Pete misquoted the Bible because of AI? What if 47 posted the pic because of AI? What if we're at war with Iran because some super military AI said that it was a good idea? Bad vibes here, dude. The juju is extra bad. We're playing chicken with a shadow box that can never read between the lines because it does not read. No birth date, no death date, no grave because no bones. You know, the Neanderthals tried to be like us. An uncanny valley mimic, really. Some of their DNA resides in us. Some of us. But they ate humans. You know how we know that? Because we dug up the bones. The truth in the past usually requires us to do a little digging. I know it in my bones isn't just a phrase. It's your ancestors tugging at you for your attention. We all need to be better at listening to each other. Big tech wants a world where, not to get too meta here, but where we're all strapped in while they lie to each and all of our senses, and all the while, they don't even give us legs. This thing has no legs, literal and metaphorical. We need to back to basics approach here, dear friends. I'm gonna share a silly little thing I try and do every day, because I figure if you're still in the video, hey, I take a banana and I go out in the sunlight and I eat it. This is one of my daily rituals because I believe it helps me better connect to those that came before me. We left the cave long before, and the jungle after that. But there's a reason no man has ever said no to a man cave. It's primal. It's where we started from. It's where we had our very first art on display. Art that's older than language itself. By the way, random point, but you know where you are. You know why I prefer listening to reading? ADHD, mostly, yeah, sure. But also because it's an older sense. It's easy for our eyes to get deceived. That one there, that's the youngest of the senses. Hearing is older. And that's why you turn the radio down when you're driving and you're lost. Neat, huh? Smelling is older still. You think these odd-looking things are for beauty? I think not. We're all a little different. Far from perfect, and that's okay. For instance, I have a giant nose. Well, you know what they say about men with large noses? That we're great at sniffing out bullshit. Facts. Well now, that about wraps up this one. I just wanted to say again, thanks for watching. Get good rest. Remember to hydrate. Consume something green if you can. Make good choices. And don't die. Every joke is a tiny revolution. Laugh away.